Hi, I'm Tim, and welcome to WatchYouWant.com. Thanks for logging on. It's not too often that I get to feature a true immortal of the luxury watch industry in one of these videos. All luxury watches are pretty special, handcrafted, hand-finished, a lot of history behind each one and each company. But the IWC Portuguese is one of the most revered wristwatches of the 20th and 21st centuries. An iconic historical model, renowned by collectors of all stripes, not just IWC fans. It richly deserves its position in history and the honor that it's accorded by collectors. So let's talk about this model right here, the 125th Anniversary Jubilee Portuguese, and more generally about the history of the Portuguese that brings us to this watch. Well, in 1939, IWC was receiving its Portuguese importers, two gentlemen by the names of Rodrigues and Teixeira, and what they wanted was far off the beaten path. They wanted a large watch, not the small wristwatches that were then in vogue, and they wanted a movement based on a pocket watch movement, not the increasingly prestigious and increasingly viable small wristwatch movements that were closing the gap in accuracy between pocket watches, well established, and wristwatches, the new thing. But pocket watches were still the standard in accuracy, so in order to encase one of their caliber 74s by request, IWC had to create a 42mm wristwatch with foy hands, Arabic numerals on a huge dial, small seconds at 6 o'clock, contoured, delicate lugs as short as possible and as tight to the case as possible, so this monstrosity would fit an average human wrist. And Rodrigues and Teixeira got what they wanted. The watch was pocket watch accurate, and it was decades ahead of its time. So many decades ahead of its time, in fact, that between 1939 and the late 1980s, IWC sold fewer than 700 of them. All oversized 42mm watches, all in the original style, all powered by versions of IWC's pocket watch movements. Now, in 1993, the company was preparing for its 125th anniversary, its Jubilee, and for the occasion, they called back one of their most celebrated but infrequently produced models. In the intervening period between the 90s and the 30s, the Portuguese had become an icon of the company. One of its image flagships, if not actual volume leaders, like the Reverso at Jaeger-LeCoultre, it was a thing whose reputation preceded it, that was accorded universal respect and beloved by many, but infrequently produced by its parent company. That was about to change. The reference 5441, produced in 1993 only, is the watch you see here. Although 1,750 were made, so dwarfing the original production run of about 670, it's still an exceptionally rare watch. In the scope of an IWC that now builds 70,000 watches a year, only 1,000 of these steel 5441s were constructed. And among IWC collectors, this is a grail watch, scarce as hen teeth, not so much because of the production number, but because collectors never let them go. They trade hands between enthusiasts and they rarely hit the market. And I can see why. First of all, in the flesh, this watch is the spit and image of the original. Beautiful and faithful to a fault, this is a full-scale recreation of that first Portuguese model. 42mm in diameter, rose gold foy hands, rose gold numerals, small seconds at 6 o'clock, and, again, true to history, powered by a pocket watch movement. JLC took its caliber 982 pocket watch movement and recommissioned it with extensive decoration as the 9828 only for this model. No other IWC model contains the caliber 9828. It's exclusive to the Jubilee. Now, significantly, this watch features a movement that is decorated to a standard unheard of in the Portuguese history. Geneva stripes, extensively beveled levers, bridges, and plates. The plates also blessed with tight perlage, and across the bridges you can see this very straight-grained, beautifully detailed Côte de Genève. So you have the Geneva striping, you have the distinctive broad pocket watch layout, you have the gold chatons holding the jewels. Very traditional, very 19th century, very IWC pocket watch. A swan's neck regulator for timing stability. It's screwed down for micro adjustments, so if you knock the watch, it won't move the regulator and alter the timing. You can see the Breguet overcoil hairspring oscillating there inside the balance wheel. Again, that's top-of-the-line Swiss watchmaking. Very accurate, resistant to shock and temperature variation. This was characteristic of the best pocket watch chronometers of the 19th and early 20th century, and it's absolutely at home in a Portuguese reference. This is a phenomenal watch with a tremendous amount of IWC history wrapped up in its 42mm polished stainless steel case. A tremendous example of high horology at its best, beautifully built, already very collectible. These are hard to find, and they're even harder to find in outstanding condition. This watch, available through watchyouwant.com, is one of the finest stainless steel IWC Portuguese Jubilees that we have encountered. While we've seen several of these watches, they are few and far between. This one will not last. So if you're a collector of mid-century classical dress watches, historic references from important manufacturers, or if you're an IWC superfan looking to complete the set, the Portuguese Jubilee 1993 reference 5441 is not just one of the finest Portuguesers that you can buy, it is one of the finest high-end iconic dress watches offered by any manufacturer in the Swiss haute horlogerie industry. Straight from Schaffhausen to Yorhausen, this IWC Portuguese 5441 is available at watchyouwant.com. Check us out, check out our collection of luxury pre-owned watches. You just may find the watch you want.